Welcome back to another Math Notes video. This is Mr. Jewell, and we are looking at section 2.1.4, the slope of a line. Slope is a concept that you should be pretty familiar with. You've seen it before, but it's always good to remind ourselves exactly how it works. So the slope of a line is the ratio of the vertical distance to the horizontal distance of a slope triangle formed by 2 points on a line. So that is, what we have sort of traditionally called rise over run, right? Rise is our vertical distance, and run is our horizontal distance. So we have rise over run. Now, that's a little sort of middle school definition of slope. So we're going to start using a little bit more advanced language, and we're going to start calling them delta y over delta x. Delta is a Greek letter, and it's used in science and math to represent change. So we can read delta y over delta x as the change in y over the change in x. The slope indicates both how steep the line is and its direction. So we're going to make a note of that. How steep the line is and its direction, whether it is a positive slope or a negative slope. Remember that a positive slope will go from left to right will go up as you go from left to right. So that would have a positive slope. And if it went down as you go from left to right, that would be a negative slope. All right. And also recall from slopes that a zero slope, let's undo that. A zero slope is a flat line. So that line would have a slope of 0, just like on your driveway. If you thought about your driveway having a 0 slope, that would be, just a flat driveway. You would want the driveway to have a little bit of slope typically so the water would run off of it. So flat line is 0 slope. Then we get a positive slope. That's, would be a slight positive slope. This gets steeper and steeper until we get to a vertical line, which is the steepest we could possibly be, which would be an infinite slope or an undefined line. So this would have, a lot of times we use m for our slope variable. Not always, but a lot of times. So here we have m equals 0. This might be m equals 1/2. I'm just making that up, so that would be up 1 over 2. This might have an m equals 3 over 1. So up 3 over 1. And this last one maybe has, or this one's the undefined one. This one is undefined. Undefined. Just squeezing all this in here to the sheet. You should draw this a little more neatly on your paper somewhere. Okay. Note that lines that slant upward from left to right have a positive slope. I just said that in. The ones that slant downward from left to right have a negative slope. A horizontal line has a 0 slope, and a vertical line has an undefined slope. So to calculate slope, you're going to choose 2 points on the line, like they've done here. Draw a slope triangle between them. So we draw a horizontal line from the lower point, a vertical line down from the higher point until it makes a triangle, a right triangle. We will note a right angle right here. And then determine the change in y and the change in x, so the delta y and delta x. And then write your slope ratio. You can verify that your slope correctly resulted in a negative or positive value based on the direction of the line. For example, here, delta y is equal to 2, delta x is equal to 5, so this is 2/5. All right? So I've got some problems for you guys to work on here on the back. This says, graph the 2 points in your notebook, draw a slope triangle, and find the slope of the line between them. So start by graphing those points, connect the points with the line, draw a slope triangle between the points, find your delta y and your delta x, and your slope is going to be your delta y over delta x. Alright guys, have a good night.